Hello, good evening. Two childhood friends from Birmingham have been jailed today after they travelled to Syria to join an Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group. Both men, who lied to their families saying they were going on holiday to Turkey, were given extended sentences of more than 17 years. Mark Goff reports.
From school pals to Syria terrorists. Just how did Nahin Ahmed and Yusuf Sarwar come to leave their families and take up arms for Al-Qaeda sympathisers in Syria? The two men met as boys. They were pupils at Holyhead School in Handsworth in Birmingham. Ahmed had moved here as a child from Bangladesh. Sarwar was a Birmingham boy of Pakistani parents. They lived with their families in Handsworth and found work. But by the age of 22, they'd become radicalised and began plotting to go to Syria to fight with terror group Kataib al-Muhajirin against President Assad. They told their families they were going to Turkey on a university study trip. Sarwar even showed them this leaflet. It was a fake. He'd made it. Yusuf Sarwar lived with his parents here in Antrobus Road in Handsworth in Birmingham. His mother found a letter in which he praised Al-Qaeda and said he was going off to fight in Syria. She handed the letter into the police. In the letter he says he's going to Syria to help the oppressed and fight Allah's enemies there. He adds, Taliban, Al-Qaeda, etc. are not bad, but the West portrays them as bad. By the time his mother found the letter, they were already abroad, but police traced their journey. CCTV filmed them leaving a hotel, heading for a flight to Istanbul, a well-known route into Syria. 8 months later, and under pressure from their families, they came home. Police were waiting for them at Heathrow. Detectives today praised the families for telling them their suspicions that their sons had gone abroad to fight.
The families themselves were deceived, and it was only once they'd gone that they then became suspicious and came forward to us. The message for other families is, come forward sooner. When they came forward, it was too late. They'd already travelled, they were already within the conflict zone. They'd already committed a certain amount of preparatory offences even prior to travelling. So the message to families is clear. Come forward much sooner. We can work with you then to prevent the travel, look at the range of facilities we have available to deal with any ideology, to support, to safeguard. That has to be the message to stop them travelling before they go.
But Mozam Beg, who was held in Guantanamo Bay and was in Belmarsh prison with Ahmed and Sarwar, believes the harsh sentences send the wrong message to families considering informing on their relatives.
One of the young men, Yusuf Sarwar, his mother went to the police stating that he'd gone missing, and she was expecting some kind of help. What she got in the end was that when her son returned was on a list and was prosecuted as a result. So the type of message that's being sent out to the community is that if you want to report your son for going to Syria, you can expect him to be prosecuted by the full strength of the law.
On the men's computers back in Birmingham, police found Islamic propaganda, images of ISIS and records of email conversations with Islamic extremists. Today the government said it welcomed the long sentences handed down to Ahmed and Sarwar, saying that they'll continue to hunt and prosecute British people who go abroad to commit acts of terror. Mark Goff, ITV News, Birmingham.
Police searching for a missing woman have found a body in West Bromwich. Lydia Pascal, who was 26 and from Romania, disappeared last month. 2 men have been charged with her murder. Andy Bevan reports.
Police say they're still in the early stages of identifying the body of a woman found in a wheelie bin earlier this morning here in Hope Street in West Bromwich. The body's thought to be that of 26-year-old Lydia Pascal, a Romanian national who came to this country about a year ago. She'd been living in the Smethwick area and also in the Foleshill area of Coventry. Lydia went missing on November the 19th and all contact with her relatives back home, which she'd maintained through social media, was lost. Late last month, police sealed off a house in the High Street in West Bromwich in connection with Lydia's disappearance. Following that, 2 men were arrested and later charged with Lydia's murder, but her body remained undiscovered. Yesterday, police sniffer dogs and specially trained officers carried out an inch-by-inch search of the area near to High Street in an attempt to find Lydia's body. This morning, it appears they found what they were looking for. Police say they're keeping Lydia's family back in Romania in touch with developments. 32-year-old Matthew Cherrington and Thomas Ricketts, who's 37, both charged with Lydia's murder, remain in custody. Andy Bevan, ITV News.
An investigation's begun after the body of a newborn baby was found in a house in Shropshire. ITV News understands the baby boy was found at a house in Doseley in Telford last Sunday. Police say the cause of the baby's death hasn't been identified. His mother is receiving medical treatment. An 8-week public consultation has begun on plans to build a new link road between the M54, the M6 and the M6 toll in Staffordshire. The Highways Agency said the proposed road would improve safety and support economic growth. It's also claimed it would cut heavy traffic on the A460 near Cannock, which lorries currently use to get onto the M6 North.
It's got 30-mile-an-hour speed limits, houses have frontages on the road, pedestrian crossings, signals, junctions. So it's a bit of a nightmare in the rush hour when people want to use it, the locals want to use it as their road. So it'll be taking that long distance traffic off there and giving the people the road back so they can use it.
200 seats at the reburial of King Richard III in March next year will be available to the general public. Leicester Cathedral will assign the tickets after an online ballot which opens next Friday. The King's remains were discovered under a car park in the city back in 2012. Sport now, and Aston Villa manager Paul Lambert says his side will be hoping to capitalise on Leicester City's recent poor form this weekend. Villa will host the Foxes, who are bottom of the Premier League after failing to win in their last 9 league games.
I'm pretty sure that everybody knows when you're in this league, it's really unforgiving. You can never tell what way it's going to go, and they're probably finding out at the minute that no matter sometimes how well you play, you can't get a result. You need a little bit of fortune to go your way, and yeah, it's up to us to keep them down now.
It's FA Cup weekend and non-league Worcester City are confident of repeating their shock victory over League One Coventry City as they face Scunthorpe on Sunday. Steve Clamp's been speaking to the club's management team.
I think anything can happen in the FA Cup. We're delighted to get to this stage of the competition, but you know, we're on a little bit of good form at the moment, so yeah, we think we can give a good account of ourselves, and you never ever know.
And obviously the hero on that day was Sean Geddes, and he just seems to go from strength to strength. I mean, he obviously has a full-time job, we filmed him at work, and then next thing you know, he's scoring a Rabona. I mean, that takes some kind of confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's a confident football player. I think Sean is the stereotypical player. You could play him on the street, at Man United, wherever, he'll try that, and he's definitely got the ability. What I'll be most impressed with him though is he's come up to our level this year, and he's just got better and better. And I think when you look at all of the players, he's kind of been the catalyst to kind of bring the team up to speed and where we are now.
Yeah, well, what did you think when you saw him score that goal? Did you think, don't take risks like that, just hit it?
I think it was just one of those surreal moments when you're standing there and you're watching it and you think, has that just happened? Has he just done that? It was the whole thing. Firstly, his first touch, and then the little trick to make himself half a yard, and then to have the audacity to do that and pull it off it was sensational. And as I say, it was one of those moments and you think, wow, that's the best goal I've ever seen.
And your confidence is high. You go to Scunthorpe, I suppose you've got to make sure you don't go overconfident because you're actually coming up against a very good team.
As long as the players perform, which I'm sure that they will, we'll be happy because it'll be a great occasion for the club, the fans, everyone. But you know, it's all set up for the players to go and perform to the best of their ability.
So what do you say to the players then before that key game?
I think as Matt just spoke about there, it's about doing yourselves justice and not having any regrets, which was the key message going to Coventry.
Well, good luck. I hope you can make the FA Cup magic work once more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Right, now time to see what the weather's going to be doing this weekend. With the details, here's Janelle Aldred.
Wishing you a warm winter. Gas Central Heating from Northern Gas Heating sponsors the ITV local weather.
Hello, it's a frosty night tonight and there are more frosty nights to come as we go through the rest of the weekend, although there will be some sunshine during the day. But let's take a look at tonight. Lows of -3 Celsius. It's a very cold night to come indeed. Maybe some mist forming, and where it does, that will linger on tomorrow morning. But for most of us, it's a very bright start to the day tomorrow. But that sunshine becoming increasingly cloudy through the afternoon. Highs of 6 Celsius too. As we go through the rest of the weekend into next week, holding on to that brightness during the day, but in the nights we're looking at some very cold and frosty ones. Good night.
Gas Central Heating from Northern Gas Heating sponsors the ITV local weather.
And that brings you up to date with the news and the weather tonight. Don't forget to check all the details on our stories on the website, and do have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.